So what was the difference in the strategy when you had that situation?
Just play, just compete, and just play and get to our game. Liked our start again, so did some really good things. I liked as our game in the third matured as it went on. Something we can continue to build on.
What did you like in the third period?
Yeah, they scored the power play goal there, and there was not much panic. We just kept playing and started getting our legs back into the game. That's what when you've coughed up some leads, that's what happens is you get put on your heels a little bit. So I'm glad that we matured in a sense of how to play in that situation.
Another critical point was in the second period, the Devils kind of had control of the first 15 minutes. You guys took it back the last 5. What you guys do in the last 5 to take control of the game?
Oh, it came down to our puck play. Our neutral zone puck play was not good against their top 6, and they'll make you pay. And Ned made some huge saves in that 15 minutes, and we capitalized on the other end of it.
When you look at the third period, you guys didn't get a shot, but is that the identity of closing out a game you're trying to build here?
You didn't get a shot. Jesus.
8-0.
Oh, that's
but it was only 8-0, right?
I don't know. There's still some things we got to work on in our third periods as far as playing with the lead.
Was it sitting back too much? What are the things you want to see a little bit differently to kind of fine tune that third?
Yeah, just skate. I know the schedule and it is what it is, but we got to get our legs. When we don't skate, we don't get our legs involved, because that's when we get put on our heels.
How much does Eklund's goal there that quick? I know he gets the opportunity, but that could have easily been a save. How much does that just up the bench's morale and get that juice flowing?
Yeah, we've talked about it. Our starts have been pretty solid for the most part, and it's an important part to keep us in the game and get us going, get our bench alive. So it was a big goal.
So it's fair to say that opposing teams, like we talked this morning about the shutdown line, trying to go against Mac's line. With that happening, how important is it for Wensberg's line to kind of
that line's been really good. Winnie Kirsch and Eckley, especially, we're kind of using them against top lines with Hughes there and Heischer, and kind of bounce them around a little bit. But Winnie's been good at shutting down some really good centers here in these first 11 games, and I think that's something that we need to continue to work on with different lines and different areas in our game. But he's done a good job.
Is that something you need to work on? Is it kind of a nice relief to get a win in regulation the way you guys did?
Yeah, to get a win at home in front of the fans, and the result was important for us tonight.
Orlov, gets the assist on Foley's goal there, but kind of set the tone early. Maybe we sent a couple big hits.
He's been playing some good hockey. Really stepped up here lately.
Dickinson and Moot tonight. What do you thought of them?
Yeah, I thought they were good. Again, I'll go back and watch it, but putting a young pair together, against a really good team, you're going to have moments where they get, put on their heels, and everything's not perfect. But there's things that we can work on with them, and I thought both of them, again, got better as the game went on. Muck didn't look very out of place and missing some time.
Any good news for Sam Dickinson that you want to share with us?
No, not yet.
So, Coach, was there any disappointment that Mercer got all their goals, the 2 goals?
I mean, I don't really care who scores their goals. We don't want goals to go in our net.
Looked like the penalty kill maybe switched to more of a box, maybe a little bit back from the diamond. What still needs to be worked on there? Because that's obviously
it's just our details in our penalty kill, and we show things that we're still seeing mistakes of. So us as coaches need to continue to work on it and fix it, and figure out ways to get them to understand the details of it in a better, consistent fashion.
Not sure when, but I noticed in the third period Revo wasn't on the bench. Can you say what happened and what's going on there?
It happened on his breakaway. Lower body, so we'll reevaluate him tomorrow.
Was he on the bench at all in the third period?
No.
Or no? Okay.
What worked for you guys tonight?
I mean, we managed the puck most of the game pretty good, and we create a lot of chances. I mean, play better defensively, I think, especially in the first 2 periods. In the third one, we kind of back up and still have to work on that, and it was night I was outstanding in the third, give us a chance to keep the game winning, and, so it's important. And I think last game before that one today, we kind of play pretty good. We lost it, but I think we kind of bring it today, same game, and same attitude. And, if we keep playing like that, we're going to have more wins, more confidence in ourselves, and it's going to help us in the future in the long season.
How nice is it to just get that win, though, in regulation, not to worry about overtime or anything like that?
No, 100%. Especially, we got first home win. It's important. We're in front of our fans, who wants to see us. You can see they was happy today. We scored a lot of goals today, and so we just need to clean up some things defensively, and manage the puck. And it's not easy, especially when you play against top lines, but if we're going to communicate in the D zone and we're going to believe in each other, so we're going to have a lot of success.
In the third period, you guys didn't have a shot on goal, but you guys really limited their chances. Third periods have been a problem. What was different this time around than maybe some other third periods early in the season?
That was great. Obviously, he make a huge saves. But I think, in my opinion, everybody, we cannot just back up and give them the skilled players, get confidence, and skate around the zone. Yeah, we did try to get away the sticks, so make sure they're not tipping, blocker shots. But there's still a lot of work to do, and I think make sure if we're gonna push our game forward, we're playing more in offensive zone and give a chance less teams to play offense, more chance we're going to have, so we don't need to worry about play defensively. But if we get there, we just need to sacrifice ourselves.
Your game has really steadied in the last few games here. You're starting to put up offensive numbers. What's working so well for you?
I just try to play hard, use my instincts on the ice, and obviously my teammates help me out too, so it's, and we've been watching a lot of videos with coaches that show what to do, try to stay positive, and obviously bring positive things on the ice, what we did right in certain games, and just try to get bad stuff away and make sure we not make same mistakes. We have to learn from our mistakes, our games, and I think last road trip, I think we have a good games, last 2 home games too, and we're in the right direction, so we just need to keep doing that.
What's a couple more? Your physicality has always got to be part of your game. You got a big hit on Brad there to start. Was that good for you to sort of get involved like that?
Like I said, you just use your instincts, and it's hit's part of my game, been all my life, and I just, if I have a chance to hit, I not try to hurt anybody, because everybody has families, everybody had hope, long careers, but yeah, I have a good gap and I hit it, and we got the puck, so it's important for the game and I give energy to our teammates too.
You like playing against the Devils?
Right now it doesn't matter who we play against. We just need to play right way and find the wins and find the points and make sure we get better.
And what's got to improve with the penalty kill? Get better in the PK.
Yeah, we're working the two. Sometimes just bad bounces, happen, and we try to communicate. And it's not easy in this league, and it's one thing we should ramp up to.
All right, thank you. But also, too, even in losses like against the Kings, you guys played really well, just in general, from that point.
It's been good, We've been keeping our morale up ever since the start, So I feel like it's been better and better. We started to get to know each other more, how we play. You gotta think it's a completely new team, pretty much. So, we're learning how guys are gonna play out there, and I think we stringing some games together here, and we're getting better and better every game, and I think that's the biggest part.
How nice is it just, you get a chance that quickly in and you bury, how much does that just jumpstart not just your line, but the rest of the group to score that quickly and have such a good start like that?
It's always big when you score first, I feel like. In the game, you're trying to get the momentum, they're trying to get the momentum, so I feel like that's something that you always want to do, and, today was us, and we did a good job after that.
Your offense really has started to really go off lately. What's working so well for you, especially since switching over to the right wing here?
It's been, scoring my chances too. I think I had a lot of chances at the beginning too, but didn't score. But now I'm starting to score my chances, and I feel like, we as a line, we work really good together, and we creating chances out there, and that's the most important thing.
In the second period, the Devils, they kind of controlled play the first, 15 minutes or so, but the last 5 minutes, you guys took it back. What did you guys do in the last 5 minutes to take kind of control of the game and the period?
Score 2 goals. I feel like that's one of the most biggest things. Obviously they're a good team, and they're gonna have some stretch in the game, and that's when Ned stepped up for us today, I feel like, and when he helps us like that, we're gonna help him back, and I feel like we did.
So how much of a psychological difference was it? You were down 3-0 last game and up 3-0 this game. So you had to make a comeback in that game. This time you had to hold the lead. So how different was that?
It's always different, when you're down 3 goals, you're trying to make stuff happen a little quicker. When you're up 3 goals, you always had that in the back of your head that you want to stay a little more on the defensive side, but also you got to step your foot on the gas too. You know, you don't want to let them have too many chances. So you know, I feel like we get a good job of that today.
The opposing teams are always going to put their top shutdown line against the Macklin's line, right? How important is it for your line then to contribute, considering maybe you don't have playing depth?
It's huge. You know, you need a lot of guys scoring, and a lot of guys contributing in different ways. You know, sometimes we're not going to be scoring, they need to score. Some guys, you know, other lines is going to be scoring, and we do other stuff. So I think that's huge. We got to trust each other out there, and you know, I think we did a great job of that today.
Do you feel good with Alex and Philip right now?
Yeah, I feel really good. They've been doing a great job for me, easy to play with. You know, I feel like I see what they're going to do out there, and they see what I want to do. So I think that's a big thing.
You've played with Alex a lot in your last couple of years here, but Philip is new to your line. What about his game has worked with you guys?
The speed, you know, he's a speedy guy. He creates so much space for himself and for us. I think that's a big thing. I feel like that contributes a lot to our line. So he's been doing a great job coming in there.
What did you see from a goalie's perspective?
Yeah, I thought we were pretty disciplined in our own end, very detailed, and we were putting our bodies on the line. Guys were blocking a lot of shots tonight. There were a couple times there, pucks coming from the point where I didn't really have a good sight on it, and it ended up never getting through. So I think we need to stay with that. We've been kind of trending in the right direction, and we've had some pretty unfortunate bounces in some games that, you know, they get teams back in it, and that's what happens sometimes. But I think we didn't really allow it to get to that point tonight. You know, pucks weren't reaching their way to the net that often.
You and Yarrow have really built a relationship, it seems, where you guys complement each other nicely. You sit 3 games in a row. How were you able to kind of come in and just stay confident, not only playing the puck, but just stopping maybe hard shots in front?
Just, you're always ready to go. Doesn't matter, you know, how long it's been. Like, I've been doing it for a couple of years now, and yeah, it's nice when you get on a little bit of a run. You can play every other day or every few days, but it's not always the case, and that's when practice is huge. You know, you take it serious. You go out there, you work, and you try to get better every day, and then, you know, when games come, you're ready to go, and it's just like any other day. So. Yeah, I think, you know, Askey's been playing well. You know, he got us a big win there in Mini, and, you know, we just got to keep working and just keep making saves that we're supposed to make. And you know, those extra ones, they'll come, and if we play like we did tonight, we're gonna win a lot of games.
A little bit of a relief for you guys to get a win like this in regulation, not have to worry about an overtime or a shootout to get the W?
Yeah, but I don't think it felt like that, honestly. Like, didn't really feel like a big weight off your shoulder or anything, or a relief. I think the way that we played, you know, from start to the second half, you know, the start through the second period, and then the second half of that third period was really good. And if we can put together a full 60 minutes, I think we'll dominate a little bit more. We'll have more games like we did against LA, where we're out shooting teams by quite a bit and whatnot. We're playing in their end a little bit more. But, I mean, you know, they got a lot of skill on that end. They got some high-powered players, and they're going to get their chances, and they're going to get their looks and stuff like that. So it's but I thought we did a good job limiting them, especially 5-on-5. You know, you give them 2 on the power play. The one, Jack made a nice play, nice shot pass, and then, you know, they get a little bit of a good bounce there on the second one too. So, but we can live with those. We'll clean up some things on the PK, but I think 5-on-5 tonight we were really good.
At the start of the second period there. Were you expecting the Devils to kind of make a big push there?
Yeah, you're always expecting a push from teams. I mean, we dominated them in that first period. We capitalized on our chances, and then, you know, we made a couple mistakes early on in the second that allowed them to get some offensive zone faceoffs and some possession in the O zone. And with the long change, it's hard to get fresh bodies on the ice. So we kind of, I think, fueled their game a little bit there to start that period. We gave them a little bit of life, but we stuck with it. We didn't give them, you know, chance after chance after chance. Sometimes, you know, ozone time is what it is. It's going to happen, but as long as you're not giving up quality stuff every time or every shift, you know, we'll live with it. We'll work through it, and we did, and then we capitalized when we had our chances there at the end of that period.
Yeah,
Would it be nice for you to build on this and maybe try to keep the net for a little
Yeah, it'd be nice, but I mean, you got back-to-back this weekend, so Askey's going to get in. We're going to play a lot of games in a short amount of time, so I'm not worried about playing every game. Whenever I'm going to play next is when I play next. That's up to the coaching staff and their decision, and whenever that time comes, I'll be ready to go.
And when you guys get off to your slow start,
Hold on.
You were really mobile in the net today. I would give you that confidence. You're almost like sixth player at the time.
Oh, I try to do what I can handling the puck, and sometimes I do a little bit too much, but I really thought tonight I just kept it simple, just stopping rims and making the easy plays. Didn't try to do too much. There was a couple 50-50s. Sometimes I have a tendency to maybe go after, and they don't always work out. Tonight I felt like I was more on the cautious side, and it's not really playing hesitant. It's just more trying to be smart and let the puck come to me and know that, all right, whether it's a breakaway at 2-on-1 or something like that, like I still have a good chance of making a save as opposed to going out and maybe not getting to the puck in time or throwing it onto their guys' sticks. So just trying to simplify things as much as you can.
and when the team gets off to a slow start, who is kind of keeping the spirits up? And now, you guys are stacking games together. I'm just, how much confidence are you guys playing with?
Yeah, a lot, and I think you can see it these last couple of games. We've come out pretty strong. We've come out really fast. We got in the first goal, and a couple of them, obviously not the other night, but we clawed our way back from a 3-goal deficit there and we dominated that game against LA, I think, and we're in games. There haven't been a lot of games this year where you look at maybe like one or two where it's we didn't really have it that night, and we didn't really have a shot. But the rest of the games, obviously the first one we're there with the minute left. The second one against Anaheim, we're there with a minute left with the lead. So there's a couple that they could go the other way. I thought the Islander game, another one that a couple unfortunate bounces, but we played a really solid game. Even the game in Jersey, we didn't have our best. It was the second night of back-to-back, but we were right there. It was a 2-1 game. Askey made some big saves for us, kept us in it, gave us a chance, and the firepower we have up front and the way that the guys are playing and the confidence that they have and the swagger that they have, it'll go a long way for us. So we just got to keep playing with that and honestly just keep having fun.
All right. Thanks, Ned.